Hey, doctor, we got a lot of calls for you. Could you take calls?
Why would we talk to human beings?
Yeah.
We have to do that?
It's 866-277-4969. 866-277-4969.
And it's Dr. Kaz Ingram. He's a leading expert in natural remedies. He's talking to us about flu season. His new book is Natural Cures for Killer Germs.
Yeah.
Hi, Iris, you're on the air.
Hello, Iris?
Hello, this is Iris calling.
Yes,
What?
Iris, you're on with Dr. Kaz Ingram.
Is that a real voice, Iris?
Hello and welcome. And I've been a big fan of this natural healing. We did it when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I think what you're doing is wonderful.
Oh, my God, Iris. Are you healthy?
I am.
Okay.
Even at my age, every day I'll have different herbs and spices and feel better.
Okay.
And I really like what you're doing because I've had it with the FDA.
Isn't that something? All the drugs are killing people left and right, and now we know that the drug companies fund the FDA. In other words, if the FDA has a $80 billion budget or whatever it is,
millions,
gazillions, it all comes from the drug houses.
Would you be
crazy?
Surprised? I heard from a neighbor lady that they're even behind that tsunami type of deal because it's creating more and more of a fungus thing.
Well, let me tell you
I hadn't heard those rumors.
That's a bit of a rumor, but let me tell you what is a concern. The area that it occurred in was where they were doing all the sonic booms for oil testing. That much I've discovered.
And then they started diseases with the blacks in Africa.
Well, no, that was done by the greedy WHO, you're right, but because they were pushing the vaccine and then the WHO gave them the money for the miserable one. You're right. Yeah.
They're dying from diarrhea over there.
Miserable. I'll tell you what.
What a way to go.
Hey, listen, I got a question for you. Why is it, either for our listener or you guys, why is it that this is low flu season this year? What else is low? The vaccine.
The vaccine is low.
Weird, huh?
It seems odd.
Very odd.
Now,
thank you for your call. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Dr. James Ingram, and I really think that you're doing wonderful work.
Oh, we're going to keep it going because I'll tell you what, I found this oil of oregano when I was sick and dying from an IV needle jab, an accident, and it cured me of my stupid sickness, which was like almost AIDS, so I want to get the word out.
Get the word out there and let people know you don't have to do this.
Well, no, I don't because they're on my back for saying it, but I'm going to do it anyway.
I'm worried one night they're going to smoke your ass.
Are you worried about that?
I'll join you in heaven and see old Mr. God and see what he's up to.
They'll snuff your candle because they are so powerful.
I don't care. What's the difference?
They killed so many people.
Well, they do, but that's the way it goes.
Chinese too. Like, you know.
The SARS?
Thank you.
All right, thanks for being
God bless
on.
you, too.
God bless.
Oh, thank you very much.
Doctor, I think you've made a believer out of Iris.
Iris is ready to roll. Iris, by the way, my name is Kaz, C-A-S-S, Ingram. If you need to get my book, it's called Natural Cures for Killer Germs. You would love it. It's full of this conspiracy stuff, I guess.
What's the name of the book?
Natural Cures for Killer Germs. Don't forget the number, 1-800-243-5242. You should also write that down, 5242, 1-800-243.
5242.
243-5242.
Are you getting that, Iris?
Thanks, Iris.
All right, God bless.
You too.
Mama Key.
Yeah.
So you have people that believe in these old-time remedies, Doctor.
Well, there are some believers, but you know what? A lot of people are using them. They're not getting so many side effects. She's doing pretty darn good. They're hanging in there. They're reducing their medical visits, and they're better off if they, treat the minor things with nutrition and not submit every time to the knife or the drug. What?
All right, it's 866-277-4969. Here's Andre. You're on with Ron and Fez.
Hello?
Hello.
Andre, you're on with Dr. Kaz Ingram.
This is Andre, and let me give you some of my vital stats.
Right.
I'm 7'4", 560 pounds, from Grenoble, France.
Wow.
That's a big guy.
And I just wonder, someone my size, do they need more of a flu remedy
Yes.
So like that, you know, I heard you talking about
Yes, a big daddy is going to need more stuff.
more oregano.
You got to take a lot of it.
I mean, you got a guy like this. He's
Big one.
6'10". He's
vulnerable.
Right.
No, I'm bigger.
He's a big one, 7'4".
I'm 7
He's a big one. Hey, Big Daddy, let me tell you something.
560 pounds.
Stop it for a minute. Hold on, Mr. Franz. You need to get a hold of my books. And I recommend the Resvitol.
Why? Not to use as a step stool. I'm already through.
I know.
I'm giant proportion.
All right. I'm going to recommend something because you're so big. Look in there about Oregulin, which is fantastic to regulate the pancreas and the liver. You need it. And for your heart, I'm recommending for your health.
One thing that makes me nervous is when you bring up some of this snake oil remedies.
You're afraid of snakes?
I have a huge, you would almost say a giant fear.
He must not be telling me the truth, because if he has giantism, he does need to support his health, his pancreas and liver. But if this is a phony deal, then you wouldn't need to.
Well,
is it the truth that you're 7'4", 500 pounds or not?
Oh, yeah, I'm 7'4".
I don't know if I believe in that.
560 pounds.
I don't want to make a joke out of this.
Right.
With one giant.
This is not a joke. We better move on. This is real stuff now. This is scientifically researched herbal medicine. That's what we're talking about. We're not trying to sell anything, okay?
I get nervous when I see the doctor because I see that snake wrapped around
hey, you know what? Each person has their own opinion. You go your way, I'll go mine.
All right, so I guess this one didn't work out. Andre, thanks for calling, though.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What do you care if I die?
All right, stop it, Andre.
Yeah. Got all kinds of stuff out there in D.C.
What are you going to do?
Yeah. It must be all that depleted plutonium getting into some...
Exactly.
You know.
Who's the bad guest tonight?
Tonight we have Douglas Mulhall, and he is the author of The Calcium Bomb, and that's about how the body misuses calcium.
So what are we supposed to do with him? Just beat up on him?
Make a fool out of him. I don't know.
I don't like the idea of that, though.
Oh.
How do you even find guests this bad?
I know. And why would the guy think, why would he not be suspicious when he heard he was booked for an interview?
This one actually called us. You know that's bad.
Idiots.
You know, later he'll call back, I can't do the show. I got the Tonight Show. So, can I push you back a couple days?
Leno's all worried about the calcium in his chin.
Well, Jay, here's what happens. If you drink too much milk...
It'll kill you.
Yeah. Not good for you then, calcium.
Well, apparently not according to this guy. And he's very well spoken, as his publicist told me.
Douglas, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hi, how are you?
Douglas, what is the what's happening with your book right now, The Calcium Bomb? What are you trying to tell people?
Well, the basic thing is this. Doctors at Washington Center Hospital have actually just developed a test that can show heart disease in people who have no symptoms. And you got to wonder, what does this have to do with calcium and calcification? Here's what it has to do with it. It turns out that they can find these little bits of calcium in your heart arteries that can predict your risk of heart attack. And this is based on the discovery of a tiny new novel particle in the blood that forms these calcium phosphate deposits.
So is this like as bad as cholesterol?
Oh, absolutely.
It's 10 times worse.
It's a lot of people, what it means for your listeners is that a lot of people have got what's known as hardening of the arteries. And that actually is these calcium phosphate deposits. They also have kidney stones. Women have got calcium deposits in their breasts that lead to breast cancer. So this calcification is actually found across a wide variety of illnesses. And you know something about milk? It has nothing to do with how much milk you drink or how many calcium supplements you take. And
thank God.
That's been one of the great mysteries.
Is it more ice cream than anything?
You can eat the ice cream and you can drink the milk. The mystery for doctors has always been, why do these calcium deposits form in the blood when the blood levels of calcium are perfectly normal? And that's been the mystery for the last 10 years. And what we show in the book is that the discovery of this novel particle that creates this calcium shell around itself may be responsible for a lot of this calcification. And by the way, David Bowie's got it. That's why he had that operation that canceled his tour last year.
And
Bill Clinton's got it. He had an emergency operation for it. And doctors just announced that President Bush has got mild calcification in his arteries. So a lot of people have got it. And the good news is that they can now test early for it and there's a treatment for it that we explain in the book.
So are you saying I need an operation, doctor?
Well, I don't think. Well,
Or
what
just
have
start
what have you
working out.
got?
So what helps? Working out?
Well, that's what's interesting. You know, exercise doesn't seem to make a huge difference to calcification. People who exercise a lot can get calcification just as much as people who don't. However, that doesn't mean that exercise doesn't help, because if you keep in good shape, that means you're keeping your kidneys and livers in good shape, and that's important because it's been shown that you can get rid of this particle naturally as well if you keep your immunity up. So it is still important to keep in good shape.
Well, there's a lot of people that want to call. Our phones are blowing up. The name of the book is The Calcium Bomb, and we're talking with Douglas Mulhall. Let's go to, let's try right off the bat. Let's get a hold of Iris. Iris, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hello, Iris?
Hello?
You're on with Douglas Mulhall, author of The Calcium Bomb.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Iris.
Doctor, thank you very much for your wonderful book. It's really, I believe, time people started to talk about this.
Is this something that's concerned you for a while, Iris?
I have a very large buildup. I believe it to be calcium buildup on my back.
Oh, you have a hump?
I wouldn't call it hump.
Well, actually, it is interesting because calcification quite often occurs in the skeleton, and
that's where I got it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's not an unusual thing. Sometimes it's called bone spurs, for example, and other times it's also associated a lot with arthritic conditions and tennis elbow, bursitis.
Right.
It's to do with the joint.
Exactly. I've got all those, and oddly enough, I need to drink less and less water.
Ever since you got that hump.
Is that also retaining water back there? I eat a camel.
Well, you know something?
Yes.
What you really need to do on this is talk to a physician who is really familiar with this type of condition, and get your doctor to get involved with these physicians who have learned about these new tests and treatments. That is what we suggest.
I asked my neighbor to help me, and he said call the zoo. And I thought that was awful.
Yeah, I don't think that's a polite answer, at least.
That doesn't sound like a very good idea.
So you can go...
He said it like this, call the effing zoo.
Oh.
Okay, well, try calling your physician.
Not the zoo.
And getting them...
And tell them it could be like a camel fin buildup of some type.
So you can travel for longer distances without water?
I can.
Amazing.
It is. And one other problem I have.
Yes, Iris.
You could help me with. I'm having trouble getting station on. Is it part of the buildup, the calcium buildup?
That shouldn't have anything to do with your reception.
I think so.
God bless you very much. You're really doing a wonderful show here tonight. It's helping people with back problems. Thank you.
You know, the back problem issue that Iris brought up is important because a lot of people that suffer from chronic back pain do have calcification of the spine, and this builds up over the years. It doubles about once every 2.5 years in the arteries and the joints.
Is there any way to get rid of that hump now that it's there?
I sleep on it.
You rock yourself to sleep with that thing.
Through my tears.
All right, here's Andre. Andre, you're on with Douglas Mulhall. The book is called The Calcium Bomb. Hello, Andre.
Hello, this is Andre.
Hi, what can we do for you?
I was wondering if too much calcium could cause large bone growth. Because, you see, I am 7'4", 560 pounds from Grenoble, France.
All right, so you feel like your bones have gotten larger.
Yes. When you're 7'4", 560 pounds from Grenoble, France, you tend to stick out a little bit.
Definitely. We wouldn't miss you in a crowd.
Yeah, so could that be from too much calcium?
Well, that's a very different type of condition. But
I was always large. Even as a child, I drank the milk right out of the cow. I would pick it up over my head.
That's a lie.
Right out of the cow.
Well, I would not say that that's a classic calcification condition. I would say
Somebody's making me this big.
Yeah. I mean, you're looking at a guy who's like 6'10".
No. 7'4", 560 pounds from Grenoble, France.
So you don't think that's from the calcium, though?
Well, when you say from the calcium, something like that is very different from a calcific condition. There are many different types of conditions that are associated with calcium. One of them can happen in young children, but it is a very rare type of condition.
That may be what I have. One more question,
Sure.
Doctor. Do snakes have calcium in them? Snakes?
Do snakes have calcium in them?
Yes, because I have a fear of snakes.
Is that because you're afraid of calcium?
I have no idea, but if those little bastards have calcium in them, I can understand why calcium is so bad.
All right, thank you very much, Andre. Here's Fred Rogers. Fred Rogers, you're on.
Thank you for having me on the program, everybody.
All right, it's The Calcium Bomb is the name of the book. Douglas Mulhall has written it. What can we do for you, Fred?
Hello, Douglas.
Hi there.
Hello, Ron.
Hi.
Hi, Fez.
Hi, Fred.
I heard about the calcium, and I was thinking that all my friends in the neighborhood drink milk every day, and we love it.
Right.
And I said, it's so good that you probably should write a book.
Now, but you're saying it doesn't come from milk, right, Douglas?
No, it absolutely doesn't come from milk. And as I said earlier, one of the great mysteries has been when you've got these normal levels of calcium in your blood, people, as they get older, seem to get these calcium deposits. But also, a lot of athletes get them. For example, you hear people who have tennis elbow. You get football stars who have calcifying tendons. So this is not just an older person's disease.
Douglas?
It's not just for older people.
Douglas,
maybe it's in the Gatorade.
Douglas, did you say, what was the word you used? What?
Calcification. And it's commonly known as calcium deposits.
Could you say it again?
Yeah, calcification, except also it is known as calcium phosphate because it's a combination of calcium and phosphorus, which normally, of course, are essential for life. Every cell in your body needs them to survive, but in this case, some of it goes crazy in the body.
Excuse me, Douglas, could you say that again?
It's calcium phosphate and calcification.
I knew you could.
All right, here's Dr. John. He's also on. Dr. John.
So, wanted to ask the author there. So, the role of calcium in atherosclerosis has been known for about 50 years. So I'm wondering, where's the bomb here, first of all? Second of all, where does this crap fit into 30 years of knowledge on HDL cholesterol and 10 years of knowledge on homocysteine?
Well, that's a very good question, actually, because as you're aware, calcification of the coronary arteries has been identified as one of the major factors in heart disease, and it has certainly been no mystery that this has been around for so long. The big mystery has been, and no scientist has really been able to explain until now, where, in fact, the calcium deposits come from. It has been theorized that they might come from precipitation, for example. It's been theorized that they might come from a response to infection, but there has actually been no cause of action, no mechanism of action shown until very recently that would indicate where the calcium deposits form at their very basis. And as you're aware, the most sophisticated sensing instruments that we have now, mostly the scanners, are only capable of seeing calcification at its later stages and cannot detect it when it forms in the capillaries, for example. So that has been a big problem in trying to find out where the cause actually begins.
What about radar? Could they be detected with radar?
Iris?
Thank you, Dr. John. Here is, let's go to Jan. Jan, you're on with Douglas Mulhall. The name of the book is The Calcium Bomb.
Hey, This is Jan.
Hi, Jan.
Hi, Dr. Mulhall. I was wondering, I'm a growing girl, and I'm worried about not having enough calcium that my bones could just shatter, kind of like the vase did when my brothers were playing basketball in the house. My mom always said, don't play basketball in the house.
You're talking about something like osteoporosis?
Right.
Actually, just broken bones, because I know my mom and dad always make us drink our milk. I think that's what made my brother Peter so agile when he saved the little girl when the wall fell at Driscoll's toy store. Then he got the Good Citizenship Award from the newspaper and a $50 check. And then the lady showed up and said he could have any toy he wanted in the store. And my mom and dad only let him keep one, because it really went to his head, and no one showed up at the party that he threw for himself.
Jan?
Well, one of the things you may be talking about there, and one of the things we mention in the book, is this problem that a lot of women have in osteoporosis, because at once they're losing the calcium from their bones, and then the oddest thing happens. It starts to show up in these calcium deposits in their heart and in the kidneys. And this has been another mystery. Why does it come out of the bones and go into the arteries of the heart?
See, I don't think it's just girls. I think it's boys, too. Because one time, Bobby got called shrimp, and he fell out of the tree when he was trying to climb up to the treehouse to join Peter's club. And he got a real fear of heights until his parakeet got loose, and he climbed out the window without even thinking to save his budgie.
Could that help, Douglas?
Well, maybe the budgie was calcified. Who knows?
Right. All right,
what about this? Pork chops and applesauce.
All right, thanks.
Is that good for your bones?
Thanks for being on the show with us tonight, Douglas. The name of the book, The Calcium Bomb.
Groovy.
Pick this up anywhere, Douglas?
You can get it in any bookstore in Washington, and also you can get it by going to our website, which is www.calcify.com, and it's high up on the Amazon bestseller list right now.
Any chance this book will be turned into a movie?
Well, actually, you know something? It would be nice if Discovery Channel did something like this.
It would.
One time my brother Greg hurt his ribs playing football, and he wasn't allowed to play anymore, so they made him taste photographer.
All right. Thank you, Jim. Thank you. Take care.
Yeah, you too.
Douglas.
And let's hope we get most of the politicians in Washington decalcified.
That's right. Let's get them up off their asses, right?
That's right.
All right. See you later.
One time we had Brady versus Brady, where my sister Marcia ran against Greg for class president. Everything, Marcia.
I thank you. Take care.
Thank you, Douglas. Your book's going to do a lot of good for a lot of people. I'm walking proof of that.
Are you still being Jan?
No, it's Fez.
Who's the real you?
Sometimes I don't even know.
Hey, the Fred Rogers was pretty good.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm a new fan. Looks like Lumpy's getting off his butt. Much like the politicians.
Let's hope they get decalcified.
Let's hope the fat cats in Washington just never get it.
I always try, if you don't know what to do, turn it towards the bureaucracy.
Right.
Because someone's getting rich on this somewhere.
Yeah, that's the only thing that you're allowed to say. You can't yell out, let's hope the Mexican Americans will, you know what I mean? It's only the politicians are the only ones that you can lump together anymore.
Or the big-time corporations.
Yeah, and cops. Anything that seems to be mainly white guys, you're pretty safe to attack.
Anyone who's feeling all high and mighty, up on their high horse.
Anyone who seems like they got a decent paycheck for themselves, take them down a peg or two.
They're the ones that absolutely deserve it.
All right, we're going to take some calls if that's okay, Patricia. Some calls right now.
Hernias out there.
866-277-4969. And you say 80 to 90% of the country can benefit this, and you can be fixed pretty quick?
You can bring your stomach down within 3 to 4 minutes.
Wow. And change everything around, Fez.
And it changes you have clear thinking. You will notice a difference in the sensation of your skin. Your blood circulation turns back again. You'll see quite a change. Everyone that does it feels something instantly. They feel something.
All right, we'll take some calls right away. We've got Patricia Hellinger on this. She's going to teach you how to deal with your hiatal hernia. Here's Iris. Iris, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hello, Iris. You're on with Patricia.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, this is Iris calling. Patricia, thank God you've done this hiatal hernia book.
Do you suffer with this, Iris?
Well, I went to the doctor. Initially, it was a lump on my breast. And we found out that it was a gumdrop, I guess, that had fallen down there and had stuck to the outer part.
Oh, what a relief, I guess.
And what I wanted to know from Patricia is that also hiatal? And could I somehow push it in or shove it?
Well, what you would do is you would put your hand... What symptoms do you have?
Cough, I think.
Stickiness and a lumpiness to the side and underneath of the hiatal area.
Maybe less candy.
That doesn't sound familiar to me with when you're talking about candy. I don't know about that.
Could it be from stacks?
From what?
With stacks or types of sweets. I just think you're doing something wonderful, Patricia, and you're really helping.
Well, thank you very much.
How can I call for your book?
You can call 1-800-244-6555. 3. Yes.
Could I have that again, please?
1-800-247-6553.
6553. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
And God bless you for the work you're doing.
Thank you very much.
They ought to give you a medal that you pin on.
I'll take it.
The hernia. God bless
I don't think they have a hernia medal.
Yes.
You've changed my life, and I love it.
I'm impressed.
I feel fantastic. That's 1-800-555-6666. Got it. Thank you again.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Iris.
Do you actually take patients, Patricia?
I work with a lot of people. I work in counseling. I have seminars. I'm a national lecturer.
It's natural healing. That's all.
Yes.
There's no pills. There's no powders.
Pardon me?
It's basically like a massage, like a self-massage.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And it's the cause of most of your diseases today, up to 2,000 diseases.
Wow. All right, here's Andre. Andre, you're on with Patricia Hellinger. How are you, Andre?
Hello, this is Andre. What I want to tell you is I am a large man.
You're a big guy?
7'4", 560 pounds, from Grenoble, France.
Yes.
I have a hiatal hernia that's very high. So high that if someone was going to do this maneuver for me, they would have to get on a big ladder.
Let me ask you,
reach it.
Patricia, is it a problem when it's a very large man like this?
No, it shouldn't be. It wouldn't be. He would have to do it himself.
I mean, but you're talking about a guy who's almost 6'10".
No.
Yeah.
7'4".
Well,
560 pounds, from Grenoble, France.
Well, this person would have to do that himself. Someone else can't do this for you.
I think it's going to take 2 or 3 people to do this. On stilts, maybe.
Oh, I doubt it.
So you don't think that'll be a problem?
No.
All right, everybody can do it themselves, even obese people.
It's designed. It's called self-help. Each one has to do it himself.
Does this cause giganticism, a hiatal hernia?
Does it cause what?
Giganticism?
No, I think that's something you're born with.
Oh, I thought there might be some hope for me. Because sometimes I get lonely being 7'4", 560 pounds, from Grenoble, France.
All right, well, thank you, Andre, and best of luck.
You.
And call us back and let us know how this worked.
I certainly will.
And say hello to everybody in Italy. Now, excuse me?
7'4",
yeah.
560 pounds from Grenoble, France.
Yeah. Here is Roxy. Roxy, you're on with Patricia. How are you?
Good. Doctor, how are you tonight? My name is Roxy Carmichael from Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah?
My boyfriend, he came home the other night, got a bit of a drinking problem. Boy ain't got a grain of sense if you ask me. But to make a long story short, we stopped fighting, gave me a shiner. Now, my mama's coming by in 2 weeks, said it happened again. She's going to take away my babies. Now, I need a remedy to get rid of this shiner. I need some pickle juice or some bacon bits on there or something. I know you have to have it in your book somewhere. Do you have a list of remedies? How do I get rid of this?
Do you have a natural remedy for that, Patricia?
For a shiner?
Yes, it's just a big old thing.
out on him.
Iris?
No, sir. We have to keep our babies together. Social services come in there and take them right away. It's a good home. He's a nice boy when he's not drinking.
We're not dealing with shiners tonight, Roxy, right? It's just for the hernia.
Well, that's a home remedy.
Patricia?
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
You don't have a home remedy?
No. But thank you for calling, Roxy, and best of luck to you. Here's Fred Rogers. Fred, you're on with Patricia Hellinger. Fred?
Thank you, everybody.
Oh, thank you.
Hello, Patricia.
Well, hello.
Hello, Ron.
When are we going to talk about the superbug?
Coming up. Maybe Mr. Fred Rogers is interested. Are you interested in that at all?
I was changing my sneakers and thinking it was so special that you want to help people with disease, Patricia.
Pardon me?
It is nice.
I thought it was special that you want to help people with disease.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to speak to you about hernias.
All right.
The other day, I went over to my friend's house, Charlie, and he was making cellos. And I thought it was really nice and fun for my friends to see it. He had a hernia.
Mm-hmm.
He had the kind of hernia you were talking about. What was the name of that?
It's called a hiatal hernia.
What was it?
Hiatal hernia.
Could you say it again?
Hiatal, Hiatal.
I knew you could. So I wanted to know, how do you get rid of the hernia for my friend Charlie?
What's his problem?
Well, he makes cellos, and occasionally we like to visit him and see the cellos. But now, because of his hernia, he can't make the cellos anymore.
Oh.
Gee.
Any suggestions on what I could tell Charlie the next time we visit?
Well, tell him to buy my book, and he'll get some instructions on how to put it down.
What is that book again, Patricia?
It's called Hiatal Hernia, Chronic Fatigue Syndrome, and Many Other Diseases Healed Naturally.
And you believe there's a superbug coming in from Iraq?
There is. There is a superbug all over the United States. It's getting very. I think it's taking the place of a virus. I don't think we're going to have any virus this fall.
No.
This spring, it's turning out to be as usually every year. In the fall, they have what we call a influenza season, which we have been minus this season. So what's coming in now is a superbug. It's a bacteria. We're not going to be worrying about flu this year. We're going to be worrying about bacteria.
Let's go back to the phones. Here's Jan. Jan, you're on.
Hi, this is Jan. It's so good to talk to Patricia. Usually when I have a problem like this, me and my brothers and sisters, we usually just write to Dear Libby and sign it Harried and Hopeless. Now, I'm really concerned about the superbug, because one time, my sister Marcia, she dated a guy named Harvey Klinger, and he was really into bugs. And my parents were worried that it was moving too fast, because Harvey said a 13-year-old girl today is like a 20-year-old, and a 13-year-old boy is like a 22-year-old today. So I was just wondering, is it an actual bug?
It's what they call it's not what you'd call a virus. It is a bug, it causes bacteria.
Is this something that could help the hiatal hernia?
It has no connection.
None whatsoever. I'd also like to ask about what to do for a sprained ankle. Our housekeeper, Alice, she's laid up, and now she's not going to get to go with Sam to the meat cutter's ball.
Wow.
And they were going to win an award there. And Sam's really disappointed, and he was going to go without her.
And did he?
No, he ended up coming over to our house and just sitting with Alice.
Wow.
I thought it was really big of him. You know, for your next book, I want to tell you about a little remedy of my own.
Sure.
Lemon juice for freckles.
Really?
Because one time I liked a boy named Clark Tyson, and he ended up liking my older sister Marcia, because Marcia's my older sister, and Cindy's my younger sister, and I'm in the middle. And when you're in the middle, it's like being invisible. But I'll tell you what, the lemon juice didn't work. You should put that in your book. And I'll tell you what, then I had to end up making up a boyfriend when everyone was in my room. And I looked over and I saw a glass on the counter. And I said my boyfriend's name is George Glass. And everyone knew I was faking, even though he sent me daisies. How did he know daisies were my favorite, Patricia?
All right, thank you very much. What should she do, Patricia?
About a sprained ankle?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not
Just not go to the meat cutter's ball?
I wouldn't touch that one. No advice on that.
Okay, groovy.
I think at your age you should date as many people as you want.
Are you talking to me, Iris?
Oh, no. I didn't hang up.
You need to hang up.
All right, I'm going to go back and finish this sweet I found in my brassiere. Goodbye. God bless you, Patricia.
Thank you.
Thank you, Iris.
Great job, Patricia. We enjoyed having you on the show tonight. The name of the book, Hiatal Hernia and Chronic Fatigue Syndrome, and many other diseases healed naturally. How can we get that, Patricia?
You can get it toll-free, 1-800-247-6553.
1-800-250-6210.
And I'd also like to mention that I am a nationwide speaker.
So we can book you here maybe sometime.
Sure, I do a lot of speaking engagements nationally.
And what number to get a hold of you for that?
406-432-2993.
293.
One more time, I couldn't hear you. Iris was talking.
406-432-2913.
Thank you very much, Patricia, for being on the show tonight. I think we're all feeling better already.
I'll tell you what, your book's going to do a lot of good for a lot of people. I'm walking proof of that.
He really is, Patricia. Thank you. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
All right, here is Barbara Thompson. Barbara, welcome to the Ron and Fez show.
Hi.
Hi, the name is your book, Famine at the Feast, and it's basically about things that we're allergic to?
Yes, it is, because I've recovered from over 75 allergies and intolerances.
Now, what kind of allergies did you have?
Well, all my life I had environmental allergies and food allergies, but I wasn't able to determine what they were. And in a treatment that I've had recently, I discovered not only what I was allergic to, and I was able to have them eliminated, but I discovered a lot of other unusual and odd things that people can be allergic to.
Now, you can pick this stuff up even though you didn't have it when you're younger as the years go by, right?
I did. I was always allergic all my life.
Some of these, I just picked up a thing with dry roasted nuts, and I used to eat them all the time, and now I get definitely sick off of them.
I'm fine with nuts.
Well, actually, if you had this treatment, you would be able to eat them again.
What kind of treatment are you selling?
Okay, this treatment is it's called NAET, and it's very similar to acupuncture, and it actually it sounds a little bit weird, but I'm an actual living proof example that it does work. And you put whatever you're allergic to in your hand, and the practitioner actually works on your body like they do with acupuncture, and they work on these little gateway points. And I can eat. I was very, very ill 3 or 4 years ago, and now I can eat almost anything.
You know, I've done one of these tests before where if you hold it in your hand will actually get weaker as they test you for them.
That's right.
I did that test at the acupuncture place.
Yes, that's kinesiology.
Did you ever try that, Fez?
No, I've never done that. I probably should, because every morning I sneeze my head off.
What do you think he's allergic to, if you had to guess, Barbara?
I couldn't really guess, but I would send you to the practitioner. They could figure that out. Actually, you know, if you're allergic in a room, you can put a glass of water out overnight, and then you can take that to the practitioner, and they'll treat you for it.
That is the grossest thing I've ever heard in my life.
What about this? You leave the water out there, and then you drink it.
Ew! Allergy water!
Barbara, our phones are just blowing up. Everybody wants to talk to you about this. Do you mind answering some questions?
I would love to.
Here is Andre. Andre is on the phone with us. Andre, you're on the Ron and Fez show. How are you?
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
This is Andre.
Hi, Andre.
I'd like to speak with Barbara Thompson, please.
She's right here.
You know what, Barbara? I don't know whether it's more of an allergy or a phobia, but I have a real problem with snakes.
Can people be allergic to snakes, Barbara?
Oh, yes. If they touch them or eat them.
Would you?
I would never touch them or
Yeah.
eat them. I am afraid of snakes.
You would,
I don't even like people named Jake.
This is not a visual thing.
No.
This is a touching or coming in contact with.
Right, so if you would have like a snake down your pants or around your neck, like wearing it as a necktie.
That frightens me because I am a large man.
Right, how big?
I'm 7'4".
Right.
560 pounds. From Grenoble, France.
Now, Barbara, when people are large like him, would they be more suspect to allergies?
No, it could. You can be allergic even if you're a baby.
I mean, this guy's like 6'11". You'd think that he would be. But
7'4". 560 pounds. From Grenoble, France.
So what would he need to do with the snake allergy that he has?
He would have to go find a practitioner and go have some treatments. It's a very gentle process. Takes about 20 minutes in the practitioner's office.
I have to do something because when I sneeze, it's a giant sneeze.
Well, sure, I can
once knocked
understand.
down Bobby Heenan.
I know. Well, you're
I sneeze so hard.
You're 7'1".
7'4", 560 pounds. From Grenoble, France.
Well, I hope that you pick up this book, Andre. It's Famine at the Feast with Barbara Thompson.
Sounds delicious.
How do you get this book, Barbara?
You can buy it over the phone by 877-289-2665. That's the publishing company. Or 877, it's also buy book, B-U-Y, book, or go to my website, famineatthefeast.com, and there's a link on there.
All right, thank you, Andre, and have a good night. Let's now go to Iris. Iris, you're on with Barbara Thompson.
Hello, Iris. Go ahead.
Hello, this is Iris calling.
Hi, Iris. What's your question for Barbara?
Thank Christ somebody has written a book like this. It's awful to suffer with, isn't it, Doctor? It's awful. My husband claims that he's allergic to my patch.
Really? I've never heard of that.
He won't get his nose near it anymore, he says.
Allergic to what?
Yes, it is. He says it's very much of a seafood.
Well, you can be allergic to your partner. That's very possible.
Is it?
Yes,
Doctor?
it is.
I thought that was just like on television or something.
No.
Do you know? Have you ever noticed that sometimes you go near someone and you don't like them for some reason, but you don't know what it is?
College.
Jen. Yeah.
It can be, but the chemical, you can be allergic to the chemicals in their body. You can be allergic to the way they smell.
He says it stinks. He's complaining, and he's a big man, and he's always complaining about that.
You know, we had a lot of big callers with Barbara tonight. The last guy was like 6'9".
No, he was 7'4", 560 pounds from Grenoble, France. Well, thank you, Dr. Tom. You've done a wonderful job here. And I'm going to get your book. How do I call? What's the number?
877-289-2665.
Can I have that again, please?
Let me start again. 877, which is toll free. 289-2665.
All right, all I got was the 8.
877-289-2665.
God bless you.
God bless you.
I'm 88 years old, and you're like a return of Christ, what you're doing to me.
Well, good luck with that, Iris.
It's just wonderful to have the radio to listen to. And maybe I'll get my husband close to the patch. God bless.
Yeah, very good luck with that.
Pretty interesting, isn't it, Fez?
It really is, the things that you can be allergic to that you never thought of.
Yeah.
Especially a spouse.
All right, let's keep this going. We have Fred Rogers. Fred Rogers on the phone. Hi, Fred.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, Ron.
Go ahead, Fred.
Hello, Fez.
Hi, Barbara.
Hi, Fred.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
My friend Joe Negri is a handyman, and he got a bad cold from working in his shop. My friends and I like to watch Joe work after I put the cartridge in my wall. Is it normal to react to cold, damp places like my friend Joe? With allergies, like sneezing?
Yes. Is it normal to react to cold, damp places? Is that what you asked me?
Yeah.
Yes, it is, for lots of different reasons. There can be mold, there can be mildew, but also a very
Is that
unusual
good for you or
thing-
bad for you, Barbara?
Pardon me?
Is that good for you or bad for you? The cold and mildew.
Well, the mildew can make people, I was always sneezing when I got around mold or mildew, very sick. You can get that through your vents, your air vents in your house, and have to have that cleaned out.
You have that, Fred?
Yes. My follow-up question for that
Mm-hmm.
is, what did you say was did you say mildew? Mildew?
Mildew.
Well, Barbara, what did you say?
I said you could be allergic to mildew.
What? One more time, what was that word?
You can be allergic to mildew, but I want to put in something else. You can also be allergic to the cold air, the temperature of the air. What do you think of that?
I think that makes sense because the other day when it snowed in my neighborhood, my friends and I went outside and tossed snowballs. It was an exciting time until one of the little ones got cold. Can you catch a cold from being cold?
Allergy symptoms are very much like cold symptoms, and many people are walking around with cold symptoms and they don't know why, and it could be an allergy.
A lot of people said that I had sniffles once because I kept one of my hand puppets in storage too long.
Well, thank you, Fred, for calling.
Thank you, and have a snappy day.
Yeah.
It's very informative.
All right, the name of the yeah, it is fun. Famine at the Feast. That's the name of the book with Barbara Thompson. What is the number, Barbara, to call you?
The number is toll-free 877-BUY-BOOK. BUYBOOK. Or 877-289-2665. Or my website, famineatthefeast.com.
Okay.
What was the website again?
famineatthefeast.com.
All right, we'll try to get a hold of that. Let's do one more call. We have Jan. Jan on the line.
Hey, this is Jan.
Oh, hi, Jan. How are you?
God, great to be here, especially with Barbara Thompson.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
Listen, my little sister, Cindy, she suffers from a lisp. And I was wondering if that could be an allergy or a speech impediment.
I think it's a physical defect, and it's a speech impediment.
Well, we have to do something about it, because there's this bully at school named Buddy Hinton who keeps teasing her, saying, baby talk, it's a wonder you can walk.
You know what? You should probably get help. We had a guy, Andre, that was like 6'11" on the phones earlier.
He was 7'4", 560 pounds, from Grenoble, France.
All right, so your sister is allergic and your brother's allergic and getting teased.
Well, my brother Peter, he tried to stand up for my sister Cindy.
Oh, I got too far along.
And then he started getting called chicken.
Yeah.
And so he had to fight Buddy Hinton and actually loosened a tooth of Buddy's. And then Buddy had to come over and borrow Cindy's tongue twister book so that he could learn to speak without his lisp. That's why it seems so contagious. By the end of the episode, everyone had a lisp.
So what do we do about that, Barbara?
I'm really not sure what could be done about that.
Mm-hmm.
One time we thought my brother Greg was sick. It turned out he was just lovesick for his teacher Linda, till he met her boyfriend, L.A. Dodgers Wes Parker. No allergy there, except to love.
Yeah, but doesn't it feel like sometimes that there's times in your life, whether you're in love or whatever, that you're almost immune, right, Barbara? Immune to sickness. It's almost like love helps you, and you almost feel like you can fight off any illness.
Or sometimes you're just faking, like if you want to meet Joe Namath.
Actually, that brings to mind that you can be allergic to emotions, such as being angry.
Is that right? So if you're angry, you can become allergic?
Well, some people get very sick from it. I mean, you can have recurring illnesses and not know what they're from.
I felt sick and angry when everyone laughed at my new black wig that I wore to Lucy Winter's birthday party. They all thought my wig was a big joke.
Oh, my.
All right.
I have to go.
Yeah.
My dad installed a payphone, and I'm out of dimes. And I don't get to use the regular phone anymore because my dad missed a big business call.
All right, well, thank you very much, Jan.
Groovy.
All right, so the name of the book, Famine at the Feast. It's written by Barbara Thompson. Barbara, if we want to get a hold of this book, how do we do it?
You can go to the phone and dial toll-free 877-289-2665.
And there's a website, right?
On my website, famineatthefeast.com. And there's a link on there.
What was it? Barely Legal what?
I said there's a link on the website.
And what is the website?
famineatthefeast.com.
Well, Barbara, thank you so much for being on tonight.
Thank you very much.
And it really was helpful.
Thank you, Barbara. Your book's going to do a lot of good for a lot of people. I'm walking proof of that.
I hope so.
All right, best of luck. And we'll probably try to give you a call back Monday and let you know how all this stuff worked.
Thank you very much.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
She was good, Fezzi.
That went well.
It's odd, though. The phones, they just light up with some of these guests. Same callers. Over and over and over.
But they're loyal. They're there. They like to talk to the guests.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm going to keep Jan off the phone because she doesn't know what she's talking about. I mean, she barely stays with topic.
Well, with the allergies, it could be such a wide range of things to be allergic to.
But I'll say this.
Whether it's teachers or Joe Namath or whatever.
Being a father myself, I think it's a great idea with that payphone. I'm going to look into this.
Then you're always going to be looking for dimes.
Fez, look who it is. It's Rush Limbaugh Jr.
Hey, Rush.
Hey, hippie. I'm just impressed that Jan has yet to repeat an episode.
Well, so far. So far.
I was convinced we were going to get the tiger one this evening, but no.
No.
I know a wig and name.
If someone would quit booking doctors,
I know.
The allergy episode wouldn't keep coming up.
Yeah. Does anybody else write books except for doctors?
Good news, we're off the doctor kick. Our next interview will be about a guy who builds catapults for your home.
Well, let's give us
catapult.
Yeah. Now I miss the doctors. I really do. Maybe what we do, we just stay with Barbara, and every night we're calling her back with more advice. I know. Finally, somebody who doesn't get mad, confused but not mad. All right, we're going to take some calls now. Fez, this is an alarming problem we're dealing with, huh?
Yeah, and I didn't realize it was costing American business so many millions of dollars each year. We're talking to Donna Cannell, author of Why Doctors Can't Write.
Donna, here's a caller. It's Iris. Iris, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hello, this is Iris calling.
Hi, Iris. You're on with Donna.
Donna, thank God somebody has written the book.
It's time.
It's time. I went to my doctor. I got some medicine for my influenza, and the kid in the counter hands me 24 Easter peeps.
As your medicine?
As my medication.
All right, I don't think a doctor would write a prescription for marshmallow peeps.
Thank God you've written this book, Donna.
I'm trying.
Praying for it. Now, the other question was, when I go down to the pharmacy, and I've lived here for years, the entire neighborhood is colored now. And I mean, I didn't know whether I was going to get jacked when I got out of the car.
Yes, that's a serious problem.
What do we do about it?
Well, I'm not sure what your problem is.
I'm just saying.
Do you think that's related to bad penmanship, Donna?
Bad penmanship is the problem.
Yes. Well, the problem is the pharmacist can't read the directions.
Right.
And so that's where we go.
And they wear those metal chains and their backwards caps and their pants all down.
Yes.
It's
okay.
awful.
One common a sample of an error.
They say they're all big down there, too.
Yes. When the letter U is an abbreviation for unit. And if the U is not made with straight sides by the doctor or whoever's in charge, then it can be misconstrued as a 0. And the patient received not 1 unit of the drug, but 10 units, and he died. It's a very simple matter of handwriting.
I got 2 units once.
Yes.
They were brothers. I appreciate you. Donna, how do I get a hold of this book?
Okay, you get it from, the quickest place to get it is from Amazon. Just order it from Amazon.
Amazon?
Yes.
All right, I'll go to Barely Legal Teens. Thank you very much, Donna.
You're welcome.
You're proving that the pen is pennier than the pen, and I appreciate what you've done here.
Thank you.
Let's clean up the neighborhood. Let's get it back the way it was, old school. All right, I'm outie 5,000, Donna.
Thank you, Iris.
Peace.
Now, Donna, is it as simple as, like, maybe just having penmanship courses in school again?
Well, the problem is with penmanship courses, most of them will still be teaching the loopy cursive, and that doesn't help. So the whole form has to be changed into something more simple, like the British. So, but also it is true that, in the last century, teachers were still expected to cover 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic. But in today's world, the push for testing, we test only reading and math.
Right.
Writing doesn't get its share of instruction.
They don't care. And most of these kids are high. Let's go to Andre. Andre, you're on with Donna Connell.
Hello, this is Andre.
Oh, hi, Andre.
Nice to talk to Donna.
Yeah. Fez, did you say hi to Andre?
Hello.
Hi, Andre. Thank you for calling in tonight.
Andre, what is it that you wanted?
Sometimes I don't even know if good penmanship is the way.
Fez, what did Andre just say?
He said he's not even sure if good penmanship is the answer.
Oh, I see. So what would you do, Andre?
You see, I'm a big man. 7'4", 560 pounds, from Grenoble, France. I have very big fingers. I'm going to write big with these big mitts of mine.
Do you think people are too big, Donna?
No.
I mean, here's a guy here's a guy who's 6'10".
No.
What?
7'4", 560 pounds, from Grenoble, France.
Okay.
Yeah. Donna,
I put maybe 2 letters on a page.
Yeah.
It takes me a whole notebook to write a sentence. I write that big.
He writes big. How do we get to this in children so they're not writing so large?
Well, size doesn't have really anything to do with it. The point is it has to be legible.
Well, I mean, the guy's he's like 6'3".
7'4", Donna, 560 pounds, from Grenoble, France.
Well, the tool you write with makes a big difference.
Right.
I would recommend.
Then you won't make so many mistakes.
Well, I also have
mistakes.
What, mistakes?
Yeah, no. Yeah, there it is.
I also don't like the letter S. It's too snake-like. And try to get through your day. Try to write anything without the letter S. It's hard.
It's one of the most difficult letters for young children to write because it has 2 diagonals. And in a diagonal, you have to remember whether it goes up or down or left or right. And it is a difficult letter to write, so I can understand what you're saying.
All right, here's Fred Rogers. Fred Rogers, you're on with Donna Connell.
Thank you. Hello, Donna.
Hello.
Donna, hello.
Hello.
I heard you say that writing comes from a certain period of art. What was that word?
The form that we teach in this country comes 300 years ago from the Baroque period of art.
What was the word again?
Baroque, B-A-R-O-Q-U-E.
One more time.
B-A-R-O-Q-U-E.
I knew you.
And that period of art is characterized by elaborate and grotesque forms and ornamentation.
Donna, wouldn't you think if it ain't Baroque, don't fix it?
Donna.
What is it?
Donna, I was playing basketball on my cement square in my backyard.
How tall are you, Fred?
I'm a feeble old man, about 5'3".
Because we had a guy on who was like 6'7". Just
7'4", 560 pounds from an Opal Throne.
Hello?
Like I was
What, Fred?
had a thing in my throat.
Ew.
I was playing basketball on my cement square in my backyard with my friends. And I stoved my finger. And after sitting on my front porch swing, I realized I stoved it. And now I'm an elderly man, Donna. And with the puppets, I have carpal tunnel. Can you say carpal tunnel?
Yes.
Good, I knew you could.
Yeah, carpal tunnel. I understand that's a problem.
So what can I do about it?
Well, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a doctor of education, so I don't have an answer for you.
I'm proud of you that you are a doctor of education. One time I put a cartridge in my wall so I could show my friends a video about being a doctor of education.
Yes.
And they liked it.
All right, thank you very much, Fred.
Thank you, and have a snappy day, Donna.
All right, take care, Fred. Donna, a lot of calls. People, I guess, are feeling the same way as you. What is your hope that that happens for education in this country?
Well, as I say, I've been trying for quite a few years to make some change, but those people who can make change don't feel it's a responsibility, and they keep passing the buck. That's the problem.
Maybe we need to vote them out, huh?
Well, they need to write possibly to their legislature and say, let's get going on this. Somebody needs to do it because obviously educators are not going to do anything about it.
And you think the president doesn't care about the children?
Well, he thinks it's funny.
Right.
So when people read my title, Why Your Doctor Can't Write, they laugh.
Right.
And it's not funny.
Right.
And,
it's not funny.
But in the report from the Institute of Medicine, the National Academy of Science, in the year 2000, 2001, and 2002, report that 195,000 Americans die each year from misreading handwritten medical orders. Not necessarily the doctor, but all along the line, all the others who have to read it and then repeat it along the line. It's just like when, let's see, in the Olympics, we had faster runners, but we're not as skilled in passing the baton to the next runner, so we lost. And the same thing is true in medicine, because the message is passed on to other medical personnel whose writing is also illegible.
All right, let's try Jan. Jan, you're on the Ron and Fez show. The name of the book, Why Doctors Can't Write. You're on with Donna Connell.
Yeah, hey, this is Jan.
Hi, Jan.
It's great to be on the show tonight, talking to Donna Connell. You know what, Donna? I completely agree with you. I blame the schools. Because one time, my sister Marcia, she drew a picture of George Washington, and then her friend Paula wrote at the bottom, Mrs. Denton, a hippopotamus. Because everyone thought it was a picture of Mrs. Denton. Then Principal Randolph called our parents, and Marcia got in big trouble and wasn't allowed to have the slumber party. And it wasn't a picture of George Washington at all. It was Mrs. Denton. And then there was their itching powder in the sleeping bags. And it was a whole mess caused by the school system and Principal Randolph.
Well, that is a problem.
Now, is it because they can't sign things properly, Donna? Is that why problems like this come down?
Someone could come along and write a caption on your George Washington picture and get you in all kinds of trouble.
Well, we need to simplify the handwriting form.
Get this episode straight.
Yes. In American schools, so that all children, when they grow up to be doctors or whatever they grow up to be, then their handwriting will be legible even when they write fast.
That school is always screwing us.
Now, Donna, do you get to the point where when you see what's happening out there, you almost hate America?
Well, it's disturbing.
It is.
That nobody takes this seriously.
One time I wrote an essay, What America Means to Me, and I won the big essay competition. and they were going to give me an award on the stage.
Right.
And then I re-added the scores, and I only had a 93 instead of a 98. And it turned out that Norma Coombs really won, and I had to humiliate myself on stage and give Norma the award. That school was always biting us in the ass.
This problem is also becoming more acute recently because the latest form of the SAT exam for entrance into college has added an additional requirement for a 25-minute timed handwritten essay.
Oh, my God.
And most students today have not written an essay by hand since the 6th grade.
I haven't.
So will their handwriting cause them to fail this component?
I wrote one, but Norma Coombs was better.
Yes.
Well,
that's serious.
They
Yes,
need
it
to
is.
do something about math class, too.
Why?
Because one time, my brothers and sisters and I, we wanted to get a silver platter for my parents. And I had the bright idea of getting it engraved. And I thought they were charging by the word, not the letter. And it turned out I owed them $56.23 to get the platter back. And I didn't have the money. And so we had to go on a talent show and sing Sunshine Day to try to win the money to pay for the engraved platter. But we were beat. We were beat by Polly's prancing poodles. And then my dad saw us on TV, and he went and paid for the platter himself. Sure, a happy ending? Couldn't have been.
Actually, our handwriting form was actually developed by engraving on letters on copper, and then they used the copper plate and stamped it on the surface.
By the word or by the letter?
Yes, and the engravers keep their tool on the surface instead of start and stop. And that's the reason why all letters in each word are being connected, because it's an engraved form. It's not actually our handwriting is an engraved form.
Donna, thank you so much for being on the show tonight. The name of the book is Why Doctors Can't Write. You can pick it up on Amazon.com. And you're a serious woman, and you've written a serious book, and I think you're really doing great work. So thank you so much for being on the show tonight.
Well, thank you. Also, Ken, you can find it on my website, which is candobooks.com.
Candobooks.com.
Yes.
Okay. And can you spell that for us?
Just can D-O-do books.com.
Thank you so much for being on tonight, Donna.
Thanks, Donna. Your book's going to do a lot of good for a lot of people. I'm walking proof of that.
Thank you.
How?
I get prescriptions filled.
What a nice lady, huh?
I think that went well.
Yeah. What a very nice lady. And she's out there trying to do something. I mean, there's a long way around to say, hey, our kids could write better. Because you're just a printer, right? You don't write cursive anymore. You just gave that up. You print and try to do it as legible as possible, right?
Yeah, because my cursive and my printing for so long was just hideous that I couldn't stand to look at my own writing.
Yeah.
So I actually went and retaught myself how to write, and all I do now is print.
All right, write your name down.
Real one?
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, now you don't write in cursive at all, though, right?
No.
You refuse.
Yeah. It has no,
Well, that's
it's
nice.
just sloppy to me to write in cursive.
Now, let me have your pen there, and I'll write my name and see whose is better. Because I use straight cursive. And that is literally my signature. And that's...
I can make up maybe 3 letters in that signature.
Well, there was only 3. I do an R, a line, a B. I throw off a line, go down. I put a fake T on there and another line. And that seems like a lot for me. Let me see you write your name down, Dubs.
If that was a prescription, you could have killed somebody.
I would, though. I would make sure they got peeps. Easter peeps. Hey, Dubs, you were losing it tonight during Jan Brady. Yeah. And Fred Rogers is out. He can't stay in character either. He's Horatio Sands of the show. Oh, my God. Look at Dubs' writing.
That makes no sense whatsoever. That's just...
It looks like someone passed out with a pen in their hand.
And that's how I do it every time, too. I mean, that's how I sign the logs. That's how I sign everything.
It does. It looks like you tried to spell out the killer's name in blood before you died.
Now, do you think that this is your name in your mind, or you just are making a line?
I started doing it real sloppy probably halfway through high school, and it's just gotten progressively worse.
All right, let's see you, Giant Brian. Write your name down on a piece of paper. Write it on our piece of paper. So we're all having our names together. So far, Fez is the only one that matters.
And then we'll turn this in as a petition for something.
All right. You go in the angle of, like, is that your 3 initials?
Yeah, BJC.
BJ.
What's so funny about that?
So you can kind of make that out. And then the last name, you basically do my gimmick of, yeah, there's some other letters that follow it.
Meaningless letters.
Now, why do you throw the J in there all the time?
I just started doing for some reason, when I got my first credit card, they put my middle initial on it.
Yeah.
So I had to sign the back, and I was worried, so the J just kind of stuck.
Hey, this is an instant feedback I think you'd like. It said, let me get this straight. So Ric Flair whispers, and somehow that's Jan Brady.
Aww.
They bust, Fezzy. They bust you.
Don't they? They love to.
Yeah, they do. They don't care who they hurt with their little emails.
It's their joy.
I don't remember if I've ever written, like, a note to anyone or, like I'll send a quick email. But to write a note and leave it upon, I don't think I've ever done it.
Yeah, I used to do it all the time.
On paper?
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
No.
All right, we got to take a break here. You can't have such a nice person as Bad Guest. She was really sweet. And she was really serious. She wants our kids to write better.
This is a serious book. She said that many times over and over again.
I tried to give it to her at the end. You're a serious person. You've written a serious book.
And the president thinks it's a big joke.
Well, the next one we have is the guy who, how you can build a catapult and keep it in your front yard book.
That I don't even understand.
Yeah, that guy shouldn't even be on any show. He should have got that published.
I wouldn't even book him on a show that talks about catapults.
I don't want to write a book, but I love having some books that I've written out there. I like to have them just in my own house, just going, let me see, let me find a thing for you. Oh, here's the books I've written. And just see the look on their faces when they find out that I'm an author.
There's a groundbreaking new book.
We're going to be talking with Susan Campbell in a few moments. Fez, have you read the book?
I've checked it out. I haven't read the whole thing as much as I wanted to.
Read it all.
It's Saying What's Real, 7 Keys to Authentic Communication and Relationship Success.
Maybe me and you should read this, Fez. We're always having trouble communicating.
Just 3 or 4 keys would be nice to start off with.
1 key. All right, turn it up.
Camera's not here. We can do it all day long.
And you practice what you preach. Would you turn the other cheek? Call the Father for help us and some guidance from above.
Susan Campbell.
Hello.
Hi.
Are we on air?
We're on the air.
Well, I'm here to help you guys get along better.
We're having terrible
I hear
times.
you're having problems.
We have trouble communicating. What are we missing out on, do you think, Susan?
Well, one thing might be, are you listening to each other?
When I hear him, all I hear is yap, yap, yap the whole time. I don't even know what he's saying.
Ah. Well.
So that's not good listening, is it, Susan?
There's a big piece right there.
Yeah. And also, I don't think that he's honest. I think he sugarcoats and pretends.
Okay, well, that's what I'm here to deal with.
Where are you getting that from?
That's
Ray.
Probably some of the copy I sent you guys.
But he really does.
Most people do sugarcoat.
Fez, you sugarcoat. You're non-confrontational with a lot of things. And if I even ask you, I go, you okay with this? You're like, oh, I'm great with it. But then I feel like him passively, aggressively doing stuff, Susan.
So what did he actually do?
I'm pretty sure he's the one who slipped my tires.
Oh, you're...
Why would I do that, Susan? What would that gain me?
Because you don't come at me head on. Does you think you sugarcoat?
It is dangerous.
I don't think I so much sugarcoat.
Never? Never, ever?
And he talks over. Did you notice this, Susan?
No, I was doing that.
Oh, okay.
I think we all do that, too.
There's one of us.
We all talk over other people.
Oh,
we all
feeling
don't
better.
listen sometimes. So this is a disease of everyone, not just Ron.
Oh, it's a disease, you think?
It's kind of a disease.
Yeah.
Well, at least it's a malady. If it's not a disease.
What can Fez and I do to start and get and turn some of this stuff around?
Okay, Fez. First, you have to read the whole book.
Thank you.
Not just glance at it.
And
the title's
so long.
And read it sober.
No, but I'll tell you and read it sober. That's good advice for anyone.
He's drunk a lot, Susan.
Well, look.
Is there such a thing as too much honesty?
Too much
Here's
alcohol?
what I want to say to Ron. Ron,
Yeah.
you can only be honest about yourself. In
Right.
my book, that's
Not like
what I
this
say.
guy.
So if you start talking about the other person
Right.
is passive aggressive and that kind
He
of thing.
is. You're right.
Talk about what you saw, what you actually experienced that gave you that impression.
Right.
And you told me you slit his tires. Of course, I mean, he slit your tires.
Somebody did.
Nobody saw that.
Nobody saw it. You have to talk about what you actually saw. Can
I
you
see.
remember, or what you heard? Can you remember a time when Fez said something and then later you found out that he really didn't mean what he said?
Well, I will bring this up. I've heard from a lot of his drinking friends at Friday Night Lights that he says some things about me or makes some jokes about me. And he never does that to my face.
Okay, then
Yeah.
maybe you guys need the phrase that's in my book, which is about clearing the air.
Right.
But isn't that just second and third hand knowledge?
It probably is second and third hand knowledge. What do you have to say, Fez?
Yeah, Fez. What do you say?
I'm listening.
Slitty.
But you talk. But Ron, you be quiet for a minute so we can hear Fez.
You've got it, Susan. I'll shut up.
I have never...
Be quiet.
I have never slit anyone's tires, and I only talk about Ronnie in the best possible way.
I'm not comfortable with it.
So what did you hear that Fez said about you that gave you the impression that he's harboring some anger?
Yep, I'm gay.
Well, is that an insult?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't sound like that. Yap, yap, yap.
What do you think, Susan? Who's right and who's wrong?
Well, I
Who
think
do you
we should
pick?
clear up. I think we should
Who do
clear
you
up what's
pick?
going on between you right now. Here's a phrase, Fez, that you can use from my book. When you hear Ron talking about you like that, how do you feel? Just say, how do you feel?
Kid toucher.
I feel that it's unfair because I don't yap, yap, yap.
You're trying to
Okay,
guess.
so try.
You're
Let me
trying
coach
to
you,
guess.
Fez, try this. And we're going to prove to Ron that you
Yeah.
don't avoid conflict. Say, when I hear you say all this yap, 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 and that I slit your tires, I feel angry.
I feel angry when
Bring
you
it on.
accuse me of...
Bring it on.
He's going to hit me, Susan.
No, he's not. He says, bring it on. He's not
Yes.
about to hit you.
Why not?
And I thought that was brilliant, Fez. You came right out with it.
Oh, is that right?
Look, Ron, this guy is able to express anger when he needs to.
I'm not comfortable with this conversation. It's gotten to me. It's gotten out of control, and I feel under attack.
Well, I kind of perceive that Ron's backed off a little bit.
Oh, so that's a win for me?
Kind of.
In what way?
That he seems to be listening and maybe even respecting you more. Because he said, bring it on. He kind of liked that you came right out and said you were angry. Ron's a different type of guy than you are. See, different types of people respond
Who's better?
differently.
Which one of us is better?
Nobody's better. Everybody's unique. See, that's the problem.
Do you have a favorite?
Comparing ourselves to other people. And
All right, you're saying you can't tell the difference between, let's say, the Pope and Hitler? Not one of them's better?
well, you're talking about who's better between you and Fez.
Right, but I'm saying.
Well, I don't know. I don't know either one of these.
I'm the Pope and he's Hitler.
Why do I always have to be Hitler, Susan?
Actually, I feel like we're really getting comfortable. Susan, the name of the book...
Are you guys trying to entertain me, or do you want to hear something that might
I think it's working.
help our listeners here? Actually,
yeah, how do we
a lot
get...
of our listeners can identify with this kind
Well, we'll take some calls from them, but how do people get the book, Susan?
How do they get the book? From either your bookstore, Amazon.com, or my website, which is SusanCampbell.com, spelled like Campbell soup.
Okay. Is it okay if we take some calls and deal with listener problems?
Absolutely. Let me give them something to focus their calls, though. Is there some relationship where you're afraid to be honest? Because I can help you with that kind of thing.
That's probably the best thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
the
let
honesty.
people call in with, there's this relationship where I'm afraid to say what I really think. I'm afraid that they'll cut off relations or they won't hear me. You know, I want to hear those kind of questions from people.
That's the thing that saved me and Fez when we started being honest with each other.
Good.
We didn't even know it was a problem until you pointed it out, Susan.
Well, I want you to keep telling Ron.
And I'm willing to pay for half of the tires.
That makes me so frustrated, Susan.
Good for you. That's all you need to do is stand up for yourself by expressing your feelings.
Yes, do that more, Fez.
That brings you into the present moment.
Instead
You're
of
more powerful,
making me
you're
run
hard
off
to ignore.
and get my new tires all the time. That's what drives me crazy. All right, if you'd like to talk to Susan, 866-277-4969, 866-277-4969. It's saying what's real. 7 keys to authentic communication and relationship success. And the question you're asking people is, how do you be honest?
I'm going to tell them how to be honest.
Right.
How to be honest in a skillful way, because most people are afraid to be honest because they're afraid of hurting other people's feelings or getting somebody angry at them.
All right, 866-277-4969. We've got Susan Campbell on. Let's first go to Iris. Iris, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hi, Iris. Iris, we have a bad connection there. So, Susan, does it all come down to honesty? I mean...
Well, if you want to have a really trusting, intimate relationship that lasts over time, you need to be honest. Because you need to clear the air regularly. Otherwise, you build up these unexpressed resentments, which poison the relationship. And that's what leads to breakups, divorces, and it even leads to stress, cancer, and heart disease.
No, I don't want cancer out of a relationship.
I hope you get heart disease.
It's cancer of the body and cancer of the relationship.
Angers me.
All right, here is...
build up resentment, and they just carry it, and it's a load on your system.
Here's Iris. Iris, you're on with Susan.
She's back. Okay, good.
Hello, this is Iris calling.
Hi, Iris. How are you tonight?
I'm really enjoying the show tonight.
Well, good. You're on with Susan Campbell, a communication expert.
Thank you. And this is like having Christ back, because I've been going through so many problems right now with lack of communication.
Well, this is right up your alley, Susan.
With my husband.
So what do you want to tell your husband? If you felt safe enough to be completely honest, what would you like to tell him?
I would like to tell him I'm really sick and tired of every day you just laying there not paying attention to me.
Okay. And what are you afraid would happen if you told him that?
I do tell him that, but he doesn't respond.
Uh-huh.
Why doesn't he respond to you, Iris?
Coma.
Oh, he's in a coma.
Coma. Uh-huh. Well, don't take it personally, Iris.
It's not funny, Susan.
Well, let me tell you what you can say to him that might work a little bit.
Please do, because it's really helping me a lot to talk to other people that are having trouble in their marriages as well.
These other conscious people.
One thing I talk about a lot in the book is how to ask for what you want.
Ask for what I want.
In a way that enrolls the other person to really know what you really want. So first of all, you have to...
I have my own interest. I should get outside interest away from the hospital.
Well, you need that too. You have your own interest, but if you do want there's nothing wrong with wanting attention from somebody that you care about.
My interest right now...
Yes?
Colored men. Thank you so much for having me on the show tonight.
Thank you, Iris.
And, Susan, what is your website?
It's www.earlcampbell.com.
earlcampbell.com.
Yep.
.com.
It's wonderful what you're doing right now. Don't be ashamed of it, and don't feel like you're stealing money.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your counseling.
You've given me the courage to get out there and start dating again.
Hey, I've got a book for dating. I've got a book called Truth in Dating.
TruthInDating.com.
Read all about that on my website, and I've even got a...
What is your website?
Yeah, so it's SusanCampbell.com.
EarlCampbell.com.
And there's a card game that you can play with people that you're dating so that you can speed up the process of getting to know somebody.
Really?
It's a lot of fun.
All right. I say hit me in that card game.
Yeah, you could make up your own rules.
I mean, literally hit me. I love it.
I know how that can be.
I bet. Sound like a freak. All right, thank you so much, Susan.
Good luck, Iris.
Thank you, Iris.
I'm so excited. I'm wet now. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm glad Susan Campbell could help you tonight, Iris.
I'm glad
Get
you
that
can help
card.
me.
It's called
TruthInDating.com. Right?
Yeah, there's a Susan
On the
Campbell.
computer.
Yeah.
SusanBiazzi.com.
Well, I don't know what that'll get you. That's some nurse,
quarter.
isn't it?
All right, God bless you.
Thank you, Iris.
And best of luck in the future. All right? Don't take any crap off anyone. Bye-bye.
That's got to be one of the keys. Thank you, Iris.
That's in there.
All right, that was very helpful. Let's go to Andre. Now, Andre, you're on with Susan Campbell, the author of Sandwich Reel, 7 Keys to Authentic Communication and Relationship Success.
Hello, this is Andre.
Oh, hi, Andre.
It's good to be listening to Susan tonight. Here's my problem.
Right.
I find that communication is difficult because a lot of people don't have much in common with me. I'm a large man.
How big are you?
7'4", 560 pounds, from Grenoble, France.
All right.
And people are more intimidated.
They're intimidated because he's a large person. That's a very good question, Susan. Do large people, is it more difficult for them to argue or be in fights?
Sometimes large people think that they're intimidating.
Right.
Do you think that you're intimidating to other people, Andre?
I definitely think I'm intimidating to other people.
What intimidates you?
You know, usually when I have a disagreement with someone, and instead of working it out with words, they bring out a large snake.
Snakes.
You know, people will take advantage of my fears,
right,
my weaknesses.
Susan, is that a phobia? Snakes?
Well, you have they might be knowing that you have a button about snakes.
Right.
You can tell them that I'm getting a fear right now. I'm getting afraid.
Just try it, Andre.
Because, you know, to me it makes no sense. I understand.
There's one of the keys in the book is to let people know that you're having one of your fear buttons.
Right, your fear button's being pushed.
And if that's coming up and you think people are afraid of you, tell them you're getting one of your buttons pushed, and then that brings you back down to human size.
Well, that'll work. That won't. You're pushing my buttons. That won't make them as scared.
Or why don't you just bake them a cake?
A snake?
No.
Bake them a snake?
No, I said cake.
You know, I don't understand why people can't just talk anymore. Why someone has to bring out a big duffel bag and just throw a snake on you while you're tied in the ropes. What's wrong with just talking?
Susan, when you have a guy who's big like this, 6'10".
No.
What?
7'4".
7'4".
560 pounds. I wrote it down here. I'm listening.
Where's he from? And where's he from?
France, I think he said.
Oh, Grenoble, France.
Very good, Susan. Maybe it's the French accent.
All right, well, Andre, I think you got something to work here with where you just tell people they're pushing your buttons.
You're pushing my giant button.
All right.
And I don't like it.
All right, good stuff so far. Well, here's Fred Rogers. Fred Rogers is on with us right now. Fred, hi, you're on the Ron and Fez show with Susan Campbell.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, Susan.
Hi, Fred.
I'm a minister, a musician, but mostly I'm a puppeteer by trade. And you said a good word, honest. It's a special word, Susan. Sometimes it's good or bad. Sometimes it hurts.
That's true. Sometimes honesty does hurt.
I had a problem communicating once after I flipped my shoe and hit myself in the face with it. I couldn't say the right letters, and I got into a disagreement with my neighbor, Aber, and Joe Negri. They said, why can't you speak right? I'm sorry about that communication, but we got into an argument.
Oh, here's what you can do, Fred. Go back to this person and say, you know, if I had that to do over, I would have said this. Here's what I wish I would have said. You know, anytime you do something that you regret later on, you can go back and clean it up the next day or a week later or even a year later. So give yourself permission to go back and revise it.
I also have problems communicating with children if I'm not wearing a puppet.
Oh, well, it's good you have those puppets around then.
Is he just hiding behind the puppets?
Well, maybe he needs to.
Yeah.
Maybe that helps him communicate and get down to their level.
Also, I like and find that children like it when I sing to them because they understand more. Do you ever sing to communicate, Susan?
Yes, I do, as a matter of fact. I think that's great.
Special.
I think that's wonderful.
Susan, is the answer ever violence?
No, the answer is never violence.
You're alive.
Is there somebody you feel like being violent with? If there's somebody you feel like being violent with, then it means you've got some stored up resentment.
And it's too late for communication.
No, you just need to call me and get the other person on the phone, and I'll help you work it out. I do phone coaching. I help people, just like I've helped you do on this call.
That feeling. The feeling you know that I'll be back when the day is through.
Susan.
Hey, we're getting a song here from Fred.
Yeah.
For you.
Thank you, Fred.
Things you'll want to talk about. I will too. Goodbye.
Good luck to you, Fred.
Thank you.
I hope you have a good life.
What?
Susan, is there ever a time to throw a snake at anyone?
No.
I would hope not.
No, I don't think
still
that's
on, Andre?
acceptable. That's not an acceptable form of communication. No, I have a whole chapter on throwing snakes at people, and the bottom line is no snake throwing.
That's right, Fred.
I got a chapter just for Fred.
We're talking with Susan Campbell. The name of the book is Saying What's Real: 7 Keys to Authentic Communication and Relationship Success. And what is your website again, Susan?
Susan Campbell.
Earl Campbell.
And that was .com?
.com. Spelled like Campbell Soup.
Right, Earl Campbell Soup.
And there's lots of fun things on that website that are free. And then there's some things that cost money, too.
Porn.
866-277-4969. Here's Jan. Jan, you're on with Susan Campbell.
Hey, this is Jan. And I couldn't agree more with Susan Olsen about honesty in a relationship. Because one time, my mom was backing out in the supermarket parking lot, and she ran into the back of Mr. Denton's station wagon. Harry Denton? And he took my mom to court, and he was making up a big act like he had whiplash. But finally, honesty won out when my dad in the courtroom dropped his briefcase really hard on the floor, and Mr. Denton, a.k.a. Jackie Coogan, spun his neck around, and we all saw that he really wasn't hurt.
Susan, what should she do about that?
Well, it seems like that problem got solved. She's just supporting the idea that the truth... if you lie, the truth somehow comes out in the end somehow.
At no time can you get away with a lie?
It never works.
What you mean by getting away with? There's lots of lies that never get found out on a conscious level, but you pay a price when you lie because you lose self-respect and you lose a kind of inner power. When you're more honest and you stand up to people, when you have something clear, for example, when you tell them the truth.
And it can cause a big mess, too. Because one time my sister Cindy was reading my older sister Marcia's diary, and we caught her reading it. So we taught her a lesson by putting some fake entries in the diary, saying that a talent scout was coming to our house looking for the new Shirley Temple. It turned out it wasn't a talent scout, but my dad's client, Miss Penelope Fletcher. And Cindy went ahead and sang Good Ship Lollipop. Fortunately, my dad didn't lose the account.
Well, see, there's another story that proves the point.
But what should she do?
That people need to be taught lessons through communication.
You get sneaky and you get consequences.
Well, that's interesting then.
I always say, just have a simple message. Like when I ran for most popular, and our housekeeper Alice baked me special cookies that said on them, "Be a smart cookie. Vote for Jan Brady."
Great.
A simple message, I think, always works best.
Did you win?
No, what happened was I promised everyone a lot of favors, and I had no intention of paying them back. So all my friends turned on me.
Yeah, well, see, that's another case of dishonesty backfired.
I wasn't being honest.
Sorry about that, Jan.
Yeah, it wasn't nearly as bad as the time my sister Marcia's friend Molly.
She's pretty, isn't she, your sister Marcia?
Everyone thinks Marcia's the prettiest. All I ever hear is, Marcia. But her friend Molly got nominated for banquet night hostess, and everyone knew it was a big joke, because Molly was so plain. So Marcia gave her a makeover and even wrote her speech for her. And then Molly got all egotistical and stuck up, and Marcia decided to run against her, and Molly beat her with Marcia's own speech, her own words.
And her own makeup.
Yeah, but it worked out because Molly stopped by on the way to the banquet, and they decided to be co-hostesses, so they both got the date with the astronaut to banquet night. If you're just honest, it always works out in the end.
What should she do, Susan?
Live by exact words? Would you recommend that?
I think you should just keep doing what you're doing, Jan.
Keep on trucking?
If you have any problems, give me a call. My phone number's on SusanCampbell.com there.
And I always say it. Don't type it. Because one time I had a secret admirer with a locket, and our housekeeper, Alice, was typing secret admirer letters to me, and it turned out that it was her typewriter that was dropping the Y. So that sort of thing could always be traced. Just go ahead and say it if you're my secret admirer.
I'm your secret admirer, Jan.
Ugh, uncomfortable.
I'm not into that.
All right, well, thank you for being on, Susan.
I have a boyfriend, George Glass.
Well, don't tell him then.
We'll talk to you later then. We'll probably call you back on Monday.
If that's okay.
Susan?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, good.
I'm still here. I'm alive.
Yeah. Will you just say goodbye to us now?
Here.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay. That communication expert had trouble finding a way to end the conversation with a simple goodbye.
That was odd. But I feel like we learned a lot tonight. We'll take a break. We're right back. Ron and Fish. Now we have a guest on the phone, Dottie Walters. Now, Dottie's written a book, Speak and Grow Rich, How Any Person Could Make a Living Making Professional Public Speaking. I know you're interested in this, right, Fez?
Yeah, definitely. And it seems odd to think that anybody could do this. The average person could do this. Because you think astronauts and sports heroes.
Yeah, I wonder if she really means anybody can do it. You think she does? I mean, anybody?
I don't see how anybody and everybody could possibly do it.
Like, could your mom go out and make a public speak?
There is no way.
Yeah.
It would never happen.
All right, so we have...
She's not an astronaut or a sports legend.
Well, maybe we're wrong. I don't know. We're going to check. Here's Dottie Walters. Dottie, welcome to the Ron and Fez Show.
Yes, I'm glad to meet both of you. Yes, most people could do it. If you like to tell stories, if you told stories to your children and you tell jokes to your friends, you probably could be a paid speaker, and the wages are very, very high.
Now, but Dottie, who would want to listen to a regular person? I don't understand who you're speaking to.
But everybody is not a regular person. Everybody has something they could talk about that would help other people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you guys are so talented. Of course, there's no question about you.
Right.
Would you like to know who's the highest paid speaker in America right now?
The highest paid speaker in America, I would guess, just to get him, maybe like a Donald Trump to come to a college or something?
I don't know what he charges. I don't think he's in the game.
Former President Bill Clinton?
Bill Clinton?
No, far from it.
All right, Mark McGuire.
You're never going to guess. It is Seinfeld.
Seinfeld gets paid a lot of money to go out and do shows, huh?
Yeah.
And what does he have to say?
In fact, it's $600,000.
Uh-huh.
Can you imagine that for putting on a big humor program at a convention?
Now, is that like dinner too, or is it just the humor program?
It's humor because that's what he does.
Right.
Sure. He's very, very clever man. But
he is.
Somebody else will beat him and pass that fee soon because it keeps going up,
Maybe that George Carlin.
Maybe. But, you see, to begin with, you usually start at about $3,000. Maybe you might go do talks like Paul Harvey or Earl Nightingale used to.
Uh-huh.
And they would do banquets, usually, in town, and they'd start out about at that. But then you keep raising it and get up to $5,000, $10,000 for the talk. And
the average person can get thousands of dollars doing this?
Sure. Yes, I run a speakers bureau. We get jobs for the speakers, so I know.
All right, what about a guy who, let's say, he runs a laundromat? What would you tell him to do?
Well, I'd have to know more about him. I don't think running, unless he talked about how to make any business successful no matter what.
Right.
Something like that.
Well, what about me? I'm a Vietnam War hero.
Well, there you are. We got a lot of people overseas now, and everybody's worried about them. So what can we do?
Right.
I know a lady who speaks to the families left behind and shows them how to send little pictures and stuff to Daddy and keep in touch every day. So he's always, at mail call, there's always something for him.
How much money would you think I'd get for that?
That kind of a talk?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, you'd begin maybe at $3,000 and then keep going up. Uh-huh.
What about in Vietnam?
No, I'm not going back, Vince. Actually, I wasn't even there, but I saw all the movies.
Oh.
My favorite is
I don't
Platoon.
think that counts.
Could you
You've
speak
got
on
to
that?
run it yourself, and most people have something interesting in their life.
Right.
And especially if it helps people.
Right.
You see, that's the whole thing. So there are thousands and thousands of associations that put on many conventions every year.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them put on as many as 200 or 300.
So there's a need for speakers.
Oh, my goodness, there's a big market for them, I should say.
Now, Dottie, you've written a book, right?
Yes, I've written several, but the one you're talking about is called Speak and Grow Rich.
Right.
And it's the leading book in the industry.
Now, is there a website, or is it just the book? They can find it anywhere? Or
Well, yes, you can get it from any bookstore or from my office, but I do have a website. Could I give that?
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, it's www.speakandgrowrich.com.
Now, Dottie, you mind if we just take some phone calls from regular people?
Oh, no, I wouldn't mind. I'd love it.
See if you could help them with that. It's 866-277-4969. Let's go to Iris. Iris, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hello, this is Iris calling.
Hello, Iris. You're on with Dottie Walters.
I'm a gigantic fan of yours.
Well, thank you.
I
You
watched
have
The
an unusual
View
voice, Iris.
2020, and it's really wonderful.
Iris, that's Barbara Walters.
Yes.
This is Dottie
Wonderful.
Walters.
And I like everyone but the pregnant Republican girl. I don't care much for her.
Elizabeth Hasselbeck.
Hate her.
Well, you know, she's got some good qualities, and I'm sure she's working hard for our country.
I think she is, but if she miscarried, I wouldn't worry. Dottie, could I turn some of my experience into speaking engagements or no?
Yes, the place to start is to speak perhaps for the Rotary Club, the Kiwanis, that kind of thing. And then people in that audience will walk up to you. That's how I started.
They just walk right up to me.
And, yeah, they say, that was terrific. I have to get a speaker for another occasion.
And it'll keep rolling on from there.
Yeah, so that's a good place to begin.
Right.
Now, to put your talk together, all of you who are listening, take your right hand and put your palm towards you, up towards your face. For a minute. Can you do that?
Palm is towards my face.
Look at it. All right.
I've got it.
You're going to begin with your little finger, and that's humor.
Humor.
Going to end with your thumb, and that's heart. That's a story that will bring tears to their eyes.
I go from humor to heart.
Yes, and then in the middle, you've got 3 points you're going to make, and you illustrate them with stories. And
those will be my 3 stories.
Yeah, the more you tell, you're a good storyteller, and you know you can move from center stage, which is the power position, to the right, to the left. Everybody in that section over there thinks you're talking right to them.
Right, because I'm focusing on them.
Yes.
And kind of beaming it.
You're good.
Thank you.
Yes, I think you could be quite successful.
I've got a story of a Portuguese gangbang, and it was many, many years ago.
See, I don't know if there's going to be a market for that, Iris.
Oh, there was that night, said Watley. There was that night. And it's funny you put up to 5. That's how many there was.
Well, stories...
All 5 of them.
Yeah, stories
all at a time
from history.
Right.
In fact, we have a number. We have about 200 speakers with our bureau who work in costume as characters from history and fiction.
That's what I could do.
Yes. Oh,
like
that's
I
a lot of fun.
Dress up like an astronaut or Portuguese gangbang or whatever.
Yeah, Teddy Roosevelt lives in Los Angeles.
I've been told I look like him also.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't be. He was special.
How do you know what stories are appropriate, Dottie?
Well, what I do, Fed, is I'll put up my hand, the 5 fingers. I start with humor.
Yes.
And then I end with hot.
Sure.
And then the next finger, the ring finger,
Right.
is what I use for.
Okay.
I'll turn that around and kind of use that on the, let's say, brown eye.
Yeah. Well, the whole point is that it certainly has worked for me, and that's
and me. Believe me, I'm doing it now.
Yeah, we book many speakers all the time. We had a call today for a speaker in a certain category.
I'll do it.
The client had $50,000 to spend.
$50,000? Believe me, I'll take them around the world for that kind of money. Kind of money.
Well,
enjoy the back tour.
It's just for speaking engagements, Iris.
Daddy Walters, what is your website?
My website is, I'll give it to you right here.
Right.
It's
www.
3 W's. www.
Well, hold on. I just got the one W.
Okay. And then dot after that.
Dot for Dottie.
And then speakandgrowrich.com.
.com.
Right.
www.sluttybitch.com.
It's got a great big website and a lot of information on it for all of you who would.
I can't wait to go there.
Uh-huh.
I don't have a computer.
Well, then you have a friend that does.
I do.
Sure, I know you would.
Dottie, I gotta go now. I'm gonna start working on this.
Okay, let me know how you're doing.
I haven't started yet, but
well, you're just now getting the information, Iris. So
I really am.
Keep us updated.
It'll be Portuguese gangbang, and that's the humor, and the heart is one of them couldn't get it up. Thank you so much, Dottie.
That's the moral.
Oh, you're so welcome.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Jesus walks with you, Dottie. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you for the call, Iris.
Now, Dottie, even a person like that could find themselves with a speaking career.
Well, of course, I've never seen him on the stage, but you know, if you're a storyteller, probably you tell stories when you're out for dinner with your friends. You're always got a good story and you're sharing it with everybody. Well, then you're a speaker.
All right, it's www.speakandgrowrich.com. Dottie Walters, the book is Speak and Grow Rich, and you can pick it up any bookstore.
Yes, we have it in stock here. If anybody wants to order it from me, I could give my phone number, and I'll send them a gift copy of my big speaking magazine that I publish.
Great. And what's your phone number?
626 8061.
Okay, good.
All right, let's go to Andre. Andre, you're on the Ron and Fez show with Dottie Walters.
Hello?
Hello.
This is Andre?
Yes.
Is this Dottie Walters?
Yes, it is.
Uh-huh.
Dottie, I'm a big man.
How big are you, Andre?
I'm 7'4", 560 pounds.
Oh, my goodness.
From Grenoble, France.
Uh-huh.
I worry that my size might be intimidating to an audience.
Well, not if you're the kindly giant.
The kindly giant.
Sure. Call yourself something like that.
But even at 6'10",
So I need a gimmick.
do you even think it's 6'10"?
No, 7'4".
Yeah.
560 pounds from Grenoble, France.
Make your stories match your height.
Yeah, it'd be like big stories, or you could come out with like animals, like
tall tales.
Yeah, tall tales.
Yeah.
He could come out with.
Usually, you're making say 4 or 5 points, and you're going to have a story to illustrate each one.
Right.
And you act it out as you would when you were telling your children's stories.
Right.
Big Bear said, "What are you doing here, Goldilocks?"
This is good. Now, I mean, if he worked with, let's say, dogs or snakes.
No, I cannot work with snakes.
Why not?
I have a huge fear of snakes.
Huh.
And you know what? It seems like any time I am talking, or as I like to put it, cutting a promo, someone always shows up with a snake. I don't want to mention any names. Let's just call him Jake.
Oh.
Jake the snake.
And next thing you know, there's a snake there, and I have to get the hell out of the purge.
When you're on stage, you're the one telling the stories. So
Right.
don't talk about snakes when you're on stage.
He's got to believe in himself then.
Yes, of course.
All right, because it would be a mistake.
A what?
Mistake.
Oh, I thought you said big snake.
No.
It's a big snake. You know, I worry about a microphone cord. Could I work cordless?
Cordless?
I guess you could. Yeah, I use a cordless mic when I'm on stage.
Yeah, I worry about my accent, too.
Well, you're from Canada.
No.
Yeah.
I'm 7'4", 560 pounds, from Grenoble, France.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you, Andre.
Maybe I should get a manager who did speaking for me.
Like Bobby.
No, he'll want to get all the money then.
Right. That's true.
That's right. Weasel.
Yes. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dottie Walters.
All right. It's Dottie Walters. It's Speak and Grow Rich. That's the name of the book. And what's the phone number if anybody wants to call?
Area code 626-335-8069. And we'll be open tomorrow. Won't be open any further tonight.
All right. Well, let's see. A lot of people feel like they have these stories, huh, Dottie?
Oh, yes, because think of the best speaker you ever heard.
Jerry Seinfeld.
And, yeah, sure, Jerry Seinfeld. But in addition to that, think of Earl Nightingale. There have been a lot of radio people who have been very famous.
Like who?
Paul Harvey.
Harvey?
Yeah, Paul Harvey, the radio man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He'd always start his radio shows by saying, tonight this traveling microphone will be in Chicago, Illinois, And he'd
That's a
tell
good
about where he
impression.
was speaking, and that way everybody kept calling him to book him.
I say so. We could kind of turn our show into a traveling microphone, Fez.
And get the speaking engagements to go along with it. Kill two birds with one mic.
Oh, you can't kill birds, can you?
Not long ago, I was speaking in Australia, and I was on Good Morning Australia. It was a radio show.
Could you get that in this country, or you just have to be down there to hear it?
Oh, it can be done wherever you get the call to go.
Right.
But I asked her, she was a beautiful lady, I said, do you do any speaking yourself? She said, oh, yes, I do a lot of banquets. Since my program's on in the morning, I'm free in the evening. And I said, who are they for? And she said, well, all the big companies always have an annual banquet every year. And so I come in and I said, well, then what do you talk about? And she said, I talk about all the interesting people I interview.
Uh-huh.
So I'm telling you that story to show you anybody who's in show business could do the same.
How much you think she'd get paid for that?
Oh, at that time she said she was making $5,000 US. It was about a half-hour program.
And that's Diane Sawyer.
Yeah.
All right, here's Fred Rogers. Fred Rogers, you're on with Dottie Walters.
Thank you, Ron and Fez.
Thank you, Fred.
Hello, Dottie.
Hello.
I'm a meek man, very humble. I only like to speak to my neighbors. Of course, I also talk to my fish when I
Well,
see them.
if you don't love to tell stories to your kids and your wife and your neighbors, I don't recommend you go in it.
I'm sorry?
I said, if you don't love to tell stories to your children and your wife and your mom and everybody you know, I don't think you'll be a good speaker.
I don't like that. That's not positive reinforcement, Dottie. But I think it's special that you have a talent to stand in front of people and talk.
Uh-huh.
Do you feel
Well, maybe
good
you
about
do
yourself?
too. You might find out you love it.
I do like to speak in front of people with friends, though. They're called
Well,
my
I think
puppets.
then you'd be all right if you could do that.
I like to use puppets when I speak.
Oh, that's darling. I have a puppet I often use.
Really?
It's a dragon. Yeah, and I tell people...
What's the name of the dragon?
Well, Dragon is his name.
Mine's
but
Lady
it's a hand
Elaine
puppet.
Fairchild. Beat that.
And he appears from under the lectern. He
I also
comes
have
out.
Mix the Owl. Have you
Yeah,
heard
and the point is that he
Here's my
whispers in my ear, and I ask everybody in the audience if they speak dragon.
Hello?
Yes. Did you hear me?
No, did you hear me?
Well,
I think
no,
it's
I didn't.
special
I was
when people
answering your
smile and
question.
feel warm.
Yeah,
I think it's
One at a
special
time.
too. And I have to say that sometimes my lips move, but if people like it, it doesn't really matter. What, Dottie?
Yes.
What's the name of your book?
Speak and Grow Rich.
One more time.
Speak and Grow Rich.
Speaking what?
Grow.
G-R-O-W.
Speak. I knew you could say that.
Speak and Grow Rich.
What should I wear when I speak? Normally I wear
the finest suit you can have tailored for you.
Although I walk into my house in a sport coat, but no one knows where I was.
Well, a nice, a real good suit. You got to look the part of a very successful person.
I once told my friend he's a chef. His name's Don Brockett. And I told him he should speak about cooking. But he
lots of chefs do that.
Fred, you miserable old feeble man, get off my back, prick.
Well, if you don't like telling people stories, you're not going to be a great speaker in any field.
I'll have to hang up and listen. Here comes the trolley. It's time to take my friends to the land.
Okay.
Thank you, Fred.
Thank you. Good night. Nighty-night.
Good night.
Nighty-night, Dottie.
Now, Dottie, I worry.
Bugs bite.
I worry about Fred because he doesn't seem like too dynamic. Is that a problem?
Well, it's like anything. If you said to me, could I be a singer? Could I be a baseball player?
Right.
How much do you want to?
With all my heart.
If you love it, of course you'll be successful.
So if you love something, you can make it happen.
That's true. If you love writing a book, you want to tell stories all the time, you want to write them down, you'll be successful.
I do.
But if you hate to tell stories, then don't be a writer and don't be a speaker.
Like that last guy, he wouldn't make it, Fred Rogers.
That's true. I don't
think so.
Yeah. Every speaker I've ever booked and know personally, and I know thousands of them, they all have a story to tell.
He didn't have one. All right, let's take one more call. It's Dottie Walters on with us. Speak and Grow Rich is the name of the book, and you get any bookstore. Here's Jan. Jan, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, this is Jan.
Hi, Jan.
It's nice to talk to Dottie Walters.
I'm right here.
And I was talking about this. I was thinking about this. My sister Marcia, she was into public speaking, and it led to a lot of trouble at home. And I wonder if you ever encountered anything like that. One time, she got interviewed after school by reporter Ken Jones from KCLA Channel 9 News about, can girls do anything boys can do? And she said right there on Channel 9 News that yes, girls can do anything boys can do. Well, next thing you know, she's trying to join the Frontier Scouts with my brother Greg, and my little brother Peter is going door to door trying to sell cookies for the Sunflower Girls. It just led to all kinds of trouble at home. And I said, what caused all this trouble? And it was public speaking with Ken Jones for KCAL, Channel 9 News.
Kids, huh?
Now, that's a good story, right, Dottie?
Yeah. Well, that's a story in itself, and she must be good at selling something. So if she's selling Girl Scout cookies...
Well, I don't think they were Girl Scout, were they?
No, Sunflower Girls. And Peter couldn't sell one box. But Marcia did make the Frontier Scouts, and then decided she didn't want to be a Frontier Scout. She just wanted to prove to the boys that she could make it.
Well, I find that people who've achieved something in life like to go out and tell others how they can do it too.
Me too.
When you're public speaking, I've always heard this old gag. Try to picture the crowd in their underwear.
Right, I've heard that.
Does that work? Because when Marcia kept failing her driver's test, they told her to finally picture the tester in his underwear, and she did. And she laughed right out loud in the car, and she got her license. Then, of course, more trouble at home. She got into it with Greg over who's the better driver. And my dad set up this whole obstacle course. And the person that came closest to the last cone without knocking the egg off was the winner. Greg choked. He knocked the egg off. He had to do all of Marcia's chores for a month.
What you want to be thinking of is you're standing, if you're a little bit frightened the first time, I've had audiences of 5,000 and all the saliva left my throat. But I looked at them and suddenly I realized that they were my children. And I put my arms out to them with my hands up, my palms up, and I thought at them. I didn't say it, but I thought at them, here I am. I'm the one you've been waiting for.
That's like at our house, where the only steps are the ones that lead right up to Bobby's bedroom.
What's that mean?
Bobby was feeling left out. Everyone had gone off, and no one said goodbye, and he was feeling really left out. And he was getting hand-me-down clothes from my brother Peter. One time, Peter liked a girl named Carrie, and he didn't know what to say to her outside her window. So Greg hid in the bushes and told him what to say. Greg's my older brother. You remember him from losing the driving contest. Well, anyway, Carrie found out it was Greg talking, and she got a crush on Greg instead of Peter. Then my sister Marcia had to dress up as this other girl named Debbie with a weird wig and big glasses to try to get Carrie to hate
you see how many
Greg.
stories you've thought of so quickly here? They may not be the ones you want to use in your talk.
This is just everyday life at my house.
Well,
I wish you luck, and if you'll get my book, you'll find that you'll be carrying it around with you because it tells you step by step how to do it.
Yeah, I gotta go, because tomorrow's a big day. My mom and dad are changing places, and my mom's gonna teach the boys how to play baseball, and my dad's gonna teach us girls how to cook.
Well, that's fine. Why not
Pretty
let them
groovy.
do what they want to in life?
We're always doing fun things like that, like getting locked up in a ghost town and all kinds of stuff.
All right, thanks, Jan.
Thank you, Dottie Walters.
You're welcome.
The name
Speak
of the
and Grow Rich.
Yeah, the name of the book is Speak and Grow Rich. Dottie Walters is the writer. And can I tell you something, Dottie?
Yes.
You did a great job tonight. I think a lot of people are going to be out there speaking and growing rich.
Thank you. It's been a joy, and if you ever
For us
have
too.
room for me, invite me back. I'd love to do it again.
We would love to have you back as soon as we can.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you, Dottie. Your book's going to do a lot of good for a lot of people. I'm walking proof of that.
Thank you.
Dottie, nighty-night.
Nighty-night.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
That was good.
Wait till the phone's hung up. I learned a lot.
I guess anybody can speak and grow rich is the lesson we've learned.
Unless you're Fred.
You don't, yeah.
Little
Fred
down-
Rogers didn't make out.
Little down on Fred.